Hello everyone, my name is Julia Murch and I am the children's ministry worker here at Heathmont Baptist. And today's lesson is about an amazing miracle. This is the third miracle of Jesus and it is about how he gives sight to a blind man. We are getting started in 3, 2, 1. We are going to be getting started with our time together with a super fun game. This is called the Blindfold Challenge. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. So what you're gonna need is a blindfold, a big one or a small one, whatever you choose to use, and some blocks that you can build with. So whether it's Jenga, Lego, whatever it is that you choose to do. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to pick one child and you are going to blindfold them, like this. Put the blindfold over them. Next, what you're going to do is you are going to see how they can build the blocks blindfolded. I'm going to demonstrate, so let's see how I do. All right, now that was just a silly example of how you could build something. Yours was probably going to be way better than mine, but this is the challenge. While your child is building, I would love for you to encourage your other kids, to encourage them with, woohoo, yay, you can do it, words of encouragement. Just like we're going to read about in our story, the man that was blind, he didn't feel the encouragement of the people to go to talk to Jesus, but that's not what Jesus wanted. He wants us to encourage each other to do things well. Are you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, I hope you guys had a super fun playing that game together as a family, and I hope it was a great challenge for you all as well. The next activity that you can do together is called blind drawing. Now what you do is you either put the blindfold back on, close your eyes, or partner your child up with another child so they can make sure that they're not looking. And while their eyes are closed, you call out things that they can draw on a piece of paper. So whether it is a house, trees, grass, birds, whatever it may be. And after that, talk about with your kids what it was like to draw something while they couldn't see. Now, I'd love to see pictures of their drawings. So you can either send it to me individually or you can do hashtag HBCKids on Facebook or Instagram, whatever you choose. All right, kids, here we go. How did it go? I hope this experience was really good for you, but also really interesting as well. Well, today we are going to be talking about a man who had a lifelong illness. He couldn't see at all, and this illness was that he was blind. It's the third miracle of Jesus, and we will see how Jesus had compassion on this man to heal them. But before we go into it, our leader Patrick is going to be reading the passage for us. So read along with him.
As he drew near to Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging, and hearing a crowd going by, he inquired what this meant. They told him, Jesus of Nazareth is passing by, and he cried out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And those who were in front of him rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Jesus stopped and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he came near, he asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" He asked. "Lord, let me recover my sight." And Jesus said to him, "Recover your sight, and your faith has made you well." And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God.
Stories of the Bible. Jesus heals a man born blind. This is Jesus,
Hey-o!
who is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. While Jesus was on earth, he taught everyone about God's love. He did many miracles and healed people of their sickness.
Oh, hey, everyone!
One day, Jesus was walking with his disciples, and he saw a man who was born blind.
Hey, Jesus!
His disciples wondered whose fault it was. That this man was blind. Jesus told them it was not because anyone sinned, but rather it was because the power of God could be shown through this man's life. Then Jesus spit on the ground and made mud. He spread the mud over the blind man's eyes and told him, "Go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam." So the man went and did as Jesus said, and he could see.
Wow!
The man's neighbors and others who knew him as the blind man wondered if this was the same man.
Is that the same guy? No way.
They said, "No, he just looks like him."
It's me. No, it can't be.
But the blind man kept saying, "Yes, it's me." So the people asked, "Who healed you? What happened?" And the man told them all that Jesus had done for him.
Ew, that's what happened.
The people asked, "Where is Jesus now?" But the man didn't know.
Come on, you.
So the people took the man to the Pharisees because it was the Sabbath, the day of rest, and they thought Jesus shouldn't have made mud and healed the man on the Sabbath. The Pharisees asked the man so many questions,
What's going on?
and he answered them, "I was blind, but now I can see." The Pharisees kept asking more questions. They even brought the man's parents in to ask them questions, but they wouldn't answer because they were afraid of the Pharisees. Finally, the man had enough and yelled,
What's it?
"Look, I told you once. Why do you want to hear it again? If this man were not from God, he couldn't have made me see."
Don't come back.
The Pharisees were so mad at the man for saying this that they threw him out of the synagogue. Jesus heard what happened,
Oh, hey there.
and he found the man and asked him, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" The man answered, "Who is he, sir? I want to believe in him." "You have seen him," Jesus said, "and he is speaking to you."
Wow!
"Yes, Lord, I believe." And he worshiped Jesus.
Imagine for a moment that you cannot see at all. When you try and open your eyes, all that you see is darkness. When someone is blind, this is what they experience every single day. Now I want you to try this while you're at home. Close your eyes and imagine what your life would look like. Would it be different? What are the things that you could do or you couldn't do? Now parents, I want you to allow your kids to respond to this. Ask them to close their eyes and ask them to imagine what their life would be like if they couldn't see. And this is the story that we are learning about today. A man who didn't have the opportunity to see. Now I want you to follow along with me as we read with Isaiah in Luke 18:35-43.
And Jesus stopped and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he came near, he asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" He said, "Lord, let me recover my sight." And Jesus said to him, "Recover your sight, your faith has made you well." And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God.
Now Jesus was walking along in Jerusalem when he and his disciples noticed this man that was blind. And his disciples asked Jesus, what did he do wrong in his life that caused him to be blind, or what did his parents do? Now this was a belief that even the rabbis believed during this time. They thought that either your parents must have sinned, or something must have happened, or they even thought that a baby could do something in their womb, a sinful thing that caused them to be blind. But Jesus didn't believe these things. He believed that there was compassion, and he said that neither one had sinned in their life. He said this happened to this man so that God's work could be displayed in his life. Now, do you believe that this still happens? Do you think that God's love can still be displayed in our own lives? Now, what Jesus did next blows my mind. He spit into some mud, and he mixed his saliva with the mud, and then he put the mud on the man's eyes and told him to go wash it off. And once that happened, that man went home to see for the very first time. Now, how amazing is this that Jesus cares for his children? He cares for us so much that he wants us to experience this miracle. And he can do the same in your life. Now, I have some questions for you to answer with your family. And afterwards, I'm going to put a worship song up as well so that you can sing along. I hope you had a really great morning, and I can't wait to see you all again. Bye!
Alive. The empty cross, the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, happy day. I stand in that place, realize meeting face to face. I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. In this joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Train.